guys, it's Sean, and we're still sort of reeling from the fact that Disney brought James Gunn back for Guardians of the Galaxy 3. We're super happy, and we want to talk about all the different ways that Gunn coming back for Guardians 3 will shift not just that movie, but affect the MCU in general. Before we dive into it though, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, turn on your notifications. It'll keep you up to date with all of the Marvel videos that we're doing here at Cinema Blend. The first point is super obvious, but still needs to be said. This means that Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is actually going to happen. We're in a bit of limbo right now, where we don't know any of Marvel Studios' official plans beyond Avengers Endgame and Spider-Man Far From Home. Those are the two titles that have been announced for 2019, and we know that Marvel has dates circled on the release calendar for 2020 and 2021 and multiple beyond. It's not like Marvel's going to stop making movies. We didn't know if Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 was actually going to be one of those movies when Gunn got fired by Disney, and the cast was especially saying that they didn't necessarily want to do it if it wasn't James Gunn. Well, Gunn is back, and now so we know one of those movies moving forward is going to be Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 for sure, 100%. And that brings us right into the next point that we want to make about Guardians 3, which is the fact that you're probably going to have to wait a while until it reaches theaters. While he was in limbo, fired from Disney, James Gunn got hired by their rivals over at DC and Warner Brothers, and he's rebooting the Suicide Squad. I think James Gunn is perfect for this movie, but as a Guardians fan, I'm a little bit disappointed that he's going to deliver this movie first for Warner Brothers and DC before he even starts on Guardians of the Galaxy 3. So if we had to guess, just because of how long it takes to put a blockbuster the size of Suicide Squad and Guardians 3 together, I'm thinking that the earliest we're going to be able to see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 in theaters is 2021 or 2022. It's going to be a while. Here's one important element that I think can move that production schedule forward a little bit faster, and that's the fact that James Gunn likely has a script already finished. He was working on this script before he got fired, and I think he even got to a point where he shared on social media that the script was finished and that he was really proud of it. It doesn't mean he's not going to tweak the script based on things that happen in the Marvel Universe between now and when he begins production, and in fact, if they're moving Guardians 3 back, there could be a few movies that happen beforehand that might shift the direction of his action, but his script is pretty much in place. So once Gunn is free from doing Suicide Squad, he can really hit the ground running with production on Guardians 3, just probably not as fast as Marvel fans really hoped he could. Talking about the cast, our next point is just the fact that they are going to be overjoyed that they're able to work for James Gunn on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And it was really funny, in the interim, there were directors who were suggested to potentially take over for Gunn, people like Taika Waititi, and he talked on social media that this is James Gunn's universe and nobody else should really play in it, and the cast really backed James Gunn up on almost every level. Dave Bautista saying multiple times that he didn't even want to come back for a Guardians movie if James Gunn was not going to be part of the overall vision. There was a petition that the cast sort of put together, or a letter that they put out in support of James Gunn saying, we know that he's not this person who made these insensitive jokes, that he's evolved over the years, and that's the point of the Guardians franchise, is learning from your past mistakes and becoming a better person. So you know that the cast is super happy about the fact that James Gunn is going to be able to come back, work with them, deliver what, again, I think is going to be the conclusion to their trilogy. I thought they'd be a little more vocal on social media in showing their support for Gunn, but I just know behind the scenes that they are overjoyed that their original director is back to conclude this trilogy with his Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. It's worth noting that there's a bigger impact to James Gunn coming back to Marvel than just Guardians 3. Gunn had done a lot of work on the cosmic side of the storytelling in the MCU, and he even had a Bible that he said could spell out a lot of major characters, from Adam Warlock to Nova and different places that the MCU could go. Having him back in the fold basically means that Marvel Studios has access to all of those ideas again, and not that they wouldn't use them and sort of develop them on their own, but being able to work with Gunn on future projects beyond Guardians 3 means that a lot of those ideas that he had sort of flushed out as he was developing his Guardians story are back in play. It's important to note also that if Kevin Feige, Marvel's president, is saying that Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, is going to be a major part of the MCU going forward, going so far as to say that she's going to lead the MCU through future movies, there's a cosmic side to Captain Marvel that we really need to explore, whether it be the Kree-Skrull War or different places that she could have gone in the galaxy between her origin story and Avengers Endgame. There's a lot of stories that can be mapped out in the cosmic side, and having James Gunn in your creative corner only helps those stories come to pass. No matter how you look at it, this looks like a win for everybody involved, for Marvel Studios, for James Gunn, and especially for fans of the Guardians franchise. Head down to the comment section, give us your reaction to this huge news, and while you're down there, hit the subscribe button. It keeps you up to date with everything that we're doing here at CinemaBlend.